Hey guys, this is Donald Thompson, and I wanted to take a minute today to give a few insights on how to build your next generation leaders, how to grow your organization in these tumultuous times that are going to require some new skills so that we can do it better, bigger, do more with less, right? Is a phrase that we all hear a lot. And so what we're going to talk about is the 5 pillars, right, for the next, the way I would call it is the next generation leadership competencies. I guess that'd be a cool way to say it, right? So there's 5 pillars that we think about when we're trying to build both longevity and agility. So number 1 is how to deal with multi-generational teams, right? There's a lot of talk about diversity and inclusion, and all those things are important, but we want to think about diversity even broader. And we all are working with people that are from different generations. So our Generation Z folks that are coming into the workplace, our baby boomers, our millennials, right, our Gen X. And how do you deal with the styles, personalities, tempo of work from all these generations in these blended teams? So that's one of the pillars that's really important. The second is how do you think about communication in the new age? So you have to develop a social media mindset, because quite frankly, that is the area that people are spending time, effort, and energy to, whether it's your personal brand, the brand of your company, communicating with employees and stakeholders. Social media is really, really critical. The third pillar is your learning agility, right? How quickly can you learn and adapt to new information? The fourth pillar is technology. How are you thinking about gamification, automated intelligence, virtual reality? You're not going to be able to run away from the fact that every company now is a technology company, and you need to be skilled in how technology is appropriately applied to your business for you to be a successful executive in the future. And the fifth thing is everybody needs to think like a startup CEO. Your original game plan is not going to be the one that takes you to the promised land. You're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to think on your feet. You're going to have to wear multiple hats as a business owner like never before. So you're going to have to understand how sales and marketing coordinate together. You're going to understand human resources and how do you have the right talent at the right time to meet your mission. How are you going to be able to communicate with multiple stakeholders? And more important, how are you going to manage and be agile when products, services, and the combination of the two morph in this new environment, right? How are you going to think about going to market in your new business that creates differentiation from your competition, but aligns very tightly with the needs of your consumer? And that's what startups have to do. And we'll talk about a little bit of each one of those. So those 5 pillars, so let's dig into just 1 or 2 points on each. Let's talk about leading multi-generational teams. One of the things that's really important is you've got to be authentic. You can't just talk about it. That means you've got to slow down and really listen to the perspectives and the way each one of these groups prefers to learn. People that are from a command and control hierarchy, some of us that are from an older generation, are much radically different than the younger generation that is used to being able to share their ideas more fully, more completely, right? And given a lot of education and support along the way. Certainly all generations want that kind of leadership, but Gen Zs expect it and demand it. They also demand that we align social good with corporate success and blend those things together. It's not good enough to just have a kumbaya moment, ping pong tables in the break room. They expect the company to stand for something that matters. When you look at social media, and as leaders, a lot of times we don't look at social media as brand building tools. But do you understand the different platforms and how they affect you? For example, I'm very interested, focused on LinkedIn. It's a place where business is still done. It's a place where networking is the priority. And we're not spending a lot of time on LinkedIn with the funny jokes, if you will, the political commentary. Those are saved for Facebook or Instagram or things of that nature. But I understand that for my voice, my audience, the things I'm trying to get done, LinkedIn is a primary for professional. Facebook is a primary for personal. That's just me. But if you don't understand the different platforms, then you're not making the right decisions for you. The other thing is that social media has a very strong content on how you buy ads, how you promote content, when you do it, and on what platform. An omni-channel approach. As a business leader, if you don't understand how to be in this conversation, your agency is going to rip you off, and your employees in marketing aren't going to be doing squat for you, and they're going to do buzzword salad, and you're going to spend a lot of money for no results. So you have to get spun up enough so that you can lead the marketers that serve you. The third component is learning agility. Podcasts are huge. Micro-learning is really, really important for you and for your organization. How do you get bite-sized components of knowledge that you can be smarter tomorrow? How do you build that into the fabric in your mentoring and coaching? And how do you learn by example and then apply new knowledge as a business leader so that people understand in your organization that you expect new sources of information to lead the day, not this is how we've done it around here for years. It's not going to work. The fourth pillar is technology. Whether it's your MarTech stack of how you're dealing with your analytics, whether you create gamification to use that for organizational change, you as a business leader have to find a technical mentor, or maybe you're already strong technically, but for me, I had to find a technical mentor or two that could help me understand how technology played an appropriate role in growing my business, whether it's email marketing, whether it's automated intelligence, or whether we're trying to have fun and save the environment and we use a tool called Julebug to have these amazing contests right on our phone and engage our employees at the same time. The final element is think like a startup. I'm very pleased, excited, fortunate that as an angel investor, I work with startup CEOs all the time. I have the good fortune to be a part of a couple of investment funds to where I get a chance to learn and work with founders and leaders and investors and private equity folks. And I understand things that they want to see in an entrepreneurial leader before they invest. These same skills and capabilities are going to be required in the C-suite of more traditional corporations. There's a book by David Gardner called The Startup Hats. David's a great friend of mine, but more important than that, most important, quite frankly, is he's very, very successful entrepreneur in his own right and a very, very successful and astute investor. And he's written a book of 6 powerful steps of how to think like a startup CEO. And so I highly recommend David Gardner's book, The Startup Hats, where he takes his time, effort, and attention, his 30+ years experience as an entrepreneur, as an investor, and now as a manager of a fund, to now teach us the thinking he expects from entrepreneurs that he puts money with. The 6 Startup Hats is a powerful, powerful educational tool. It's a quick read. You can get through it in under an hour, and right at about an hour. It's like $8.99 for the audiobook, and you can learn how to think like a startup CEO. So if you incorporate those 5 pillars of what it will take to become the next generation leader, these 5 competencies are going to give you the foundation to be successful in your own right, and then help you identify the leaders that you want to hire and be in the trenches with, so to speak, right, to help your business grow through these crazy times. What we're experiencing as an economy, what we're experiencing as a society, to lead in these times will take boldness, authenticity, and a commitment to be more and better than you were yesterday.